Hello, Crunchy Peeps. I wanted to do another art dress, and so I got a couple of dislikes on the last video I did, and it could be because of they didn't like the art dress, or it could be that my camera was set different and you couldn't really see the process of it completely. So I'm making visually sure that you see the camera in this angle so that you see what I'm doing. Okay, first what you're going to do is you're going to get you a Barbie doll, and of course you're going to tie her hair up, and you're going to wrap her in cellophane or saran wrap, same thing, and you're going to wrap her all the way down to her knees and across her breast area right through here. Then you're going to wrap her just a quarter way down on her back like this, and then all the way down. And I put a couple of layers of cellophane on there. Now I have mixed up 2 parts Elmer's glue and 1 part water. You want to kind of have it thick like, and I'm just choosing a piece of paper, and I'm just going to start tearing pieces into this mixture, because this is what I'm going to wrap her in. As you see here, we are building a paper mache bodice that can be used and decorated like I did my last one. Now I'm just going to put these few in there. Make sure that they're saturated with the glue and water consistency, because you really want good contact. You really want to be able to make sure that the paper is pliable and will go around your Barbie. Okay, so you're just going to tap a couple of pieces off like so, and you're just going to begin wrapping them around her. Now right here, I always like to start in the bodice area like this, and you're going to pinch so that you can get that shape around her breast area here, as you see there. I just pinched it on the side to make more or less a pleat that you see there. Okay, when you do this, think about how pleats and stuff go along with, you know, see, I made that pleat there, and then it wrapped on around her breast area. So like I said, just, you know, think about the way your clothes fit. Pay attention to where pleats would be good. And going around to her back area. And I would let her dry thoroughly for about 4 or 5 hours, because you're using a lot of water and glue. And I'm just pressing down, and I go ahead, and why I go down close to her knees when making one of these is because it depends on my art dress, and you can later on cut your art dress down, but when I make art dresses or dresses for Barbie or for dolls per se, like on the hip area right here, just crease it so it'll go lay over her hips. I want enough room to be able to apply long pieces of fabric or whatever onto the Barbie. Again, there you go. You take it, you squeeze it, and you plop it down like that. Just bring it on around. with this 2 parts glue and water, it really lays on there very nicely. So you should be, it should be okay to, now you see the little pucker there? You just want to squeeze it and press down. Your hands are going to get messy, but you want to squeeze any excess water or glue away from the Barbie. See there? Okay. And I'll have to tear some more pieces. Okay, I'm going to do that. So that's basically all you're going to do. You're just going to find a piece of paper and just make sure these are in there. Get good saturation. I don't know how I'm going to decorate this Barbie, but I will definitely be showing you the different steps of it in this video. So while she's drying, I'll be looking for things to create a dress with. My other dress I made was very popular. A lot of you loved it. See? Actually, that's a cute kind of dress within itself. You know, like a little vintage dress. Now, I'm going to add some more layers on here because I want it kind of thick in that area, because this area is the area you're going to cut to make the back of your dress and to release it from the Barbie. So you want enough bite or enough paper to where when you do cut this, it will not, you know, tear or anything. It shouldn't tear, but you know, you want enough paper in that area. Okay, we'll flip her over. And I'm going to add one more piece like that, and there you go. She is completely covered, and I will let her dry on top of this bowl here like that, and she will dry for about 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll come back and we'll start decorating. Okay, see you in a little while. Okay, ladies, I'm back. Now, this is the Barbie that is dry. It will feel kind of squishy because you have laid it on cellophane, so you'll feel that. And it's been drying for about 5 hours, so it's dry on the surface and everything. So I'm just going to release the Barbie, the dress from the Barbie. And I've got some very thin detailed scissors here. You want to take your time because you will be cutting through the cellophane, and you don't want to ruin the dress. Now, I'm just going to separate. Now I'm going to cut down further, probably across on down past her buttocks here. Okay, if your edges are rough, do not worry, because those can be designed out, meaning they can be done, you know, designed around and everything. If you still see that it's wet a little bit on the inside, you can stop and let it dry a little bit more. Also, you can continue and release it from the Barbie and allow the inside to dry before you go decorating it, so that it sets up perfectly. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I cut all the way down. Okay, you're just going to very slowly release the bodice, the form, from the Barbie, just like so. And see, now you have a beautiful silhouette of a bodice. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is, it still feels damp inside, so I'm just going to run my heat gun down through there. I'm going to set my Barbie aside. I'm just doing it like this, making sure air gets in there and starts to dry what little moisture is left. You'll want to do this okay. So it feels really pretty dry to me. Yeah, it could still use a little more drying time, but you know, that is totally up to you. Now, to keep the shape of your bodice, I just use a piece of fabric or a piece of some tulle, and I stuff it in there. But before I do anything like that, I'm going to get a very sharp pair of scissors, and I am going to trim off the bottom so that it's even. You can see here, just let myself get started here. Very important that you do this with a very sharp pair of scissors, because if you have dull scissors, it's going to snag the paper and it's going to leave, you know, not so good results. And then, as you can see here, I can overlap it and close the back, but before I do that, I want to trim off the edge evenly. Again, allowing your dress to dry completely. I know we're eager to get started decorating our dresses. I know I'm one of them. But you do want a good solid base. And as you see, I'm just pressing it together because it's still a little sticky on the inside. And this is a great way to make miniature dress forms, which is another great way. Now, I'm going to trim up the bodice in the back area, and I'm going to make a V in the back area like that. do that on that side. And then I'm just going to trim on around. Like this. There we go. Now you can leave the breast area like this, or you can take your scissor and make a sweetheart line if you want, but I don't. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue and I am going to be very careful when doing this. I'm going to run a bead of hot glue to seal this edge. Please be careful with your hot glue. You don't want to burn your fingers. There we go. Now, if you're going to make these just like this, I would ink it or you know, clean the edges up a little bit better. But with my art dresses, I want to completely cover them and do different designs and such with them. So the next steps you're going to see is going to be in a fast mode. I'm going to be decorating this dress form. And see, it sets up just beautifully, so you can make miniature dress forms. I think that's going to be my next tutorial, is make another one of these and then show you how to make a dress form out of some wooden dowels and different things that you can do to make a miniature dress form for more of your shadow boxes and your three-dimensional boxes that you can set it in. I'll definitely do a tutorial on that because there's a couple I want to do. So that's what I was saying is that I will do a video, you know, fast forward the video from this point on, and it'll show you how I'm going to decorate and make this dress. I will pop in with narrated information during the fast forward process. So if you have any questions, you can let me know. And always remember that at the end of every video are the detailed photos of the finished project. And but again, I will narrate steps that I'm taking so that you're not lost, and this is a great tutorial for you to do. So again, if you have any questions, you let me know. So let's get started in decorating this dress form. Hello ladies. Okay, just as I promised, I'm going to do a little narration through this video to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing with the dress. Right now I'm covering the bodice of the dress, and I'm using this already sewed seam from the tablecloth, and I'm wrapping it around the bodice so that it will have a clean edge on there. And I'm just simply using hot glue and during this process. You want to make sure that you take your time with this step, because when you put the fabric around the bodice, you want it to lay really, really pretty in the back. And again, it all depends on if you're going to be putting a big bow or some tulle or a big ribbon. You know, you just want to pay attention to your creases and everything. And as you see here, I went ahead and started to stuff the bodice so that I could have the correct shape when I start putting all of my fabric around the bodice. It's a good tip to do. That's what I did. And as you can see, I'm doing creases on the side on my first layer. And this, again, this is a place, you know, a tedious process, especially around the bodice. The bodices are the hardest for me, you know, as I would say the most time consuming of getting just right or getting straight, because you have the breast area that you have to think about and make sure that you're your creases and your pleats are exactly where you need them. Here in a few moments, I'm going to grab another piece of fabric here, and I double wrap my bodice. I tend to do that because I want extra fabric around my dress, and then I'm just cutting it to just waist up as far as the length of the fabric. Again, I am concentrating on the pleats, making sure that the back is glued nicely, and then I'll go back in and I will trim the areas of the bodice. And you can do a lot with the bodice. You can do laces and crocheted pieces of dolly. You can wrap the bodice in beads. There's so many wonderful things that you can do with the bodices. Right now I'm just cleaning up the ends and everything and making sure I have my shape correct. And now what I'm fixing to do is I'm using tulle. Now what I do here is I fold the tulle in a continuous strip. I fold a piece, I fold about 3 or 4 pieces, and then I glue the folded part around the waist. That is, 1, it's easier to do it that way, and 2, it lays flatter around the waist when you do it that way. Just continue the process all the way around. As you see I'm doing here, I'm just folding and putting the folds glued around the waist of the dress form. Now this is intended to make the dress fuller. It's like making a can for your dress. Now you can keep going and going and going and totally make a dress out of tulle. That would be beautiful within itself. But I'm using it in the purpose of making a can to make my dress fuller. As you see, I'm just trimming up and cleaning up the areas and tacking down areas that need to be tacked down. And then you'll see me here in just a few seconds to trim off the ends to make them all even. Again, just make sure you clean up all of your little edges and everything. Now here I am ready to start making the skirt of the dress. I have cut out a piece of the tablecloth, and you're going to notice here that I'm going to fold the tablecloth to where the end is at the base of the skirt, because you know the sewed end, the pre-sewed end is at the base of the skirt. And all I'm doing here now is I'm just making a seam on one end, and then I am going to start folding and gluing, folding and gluing. That's exactly what I'm going to do, a little bit at a time. All you're going to do is fold it, tag it down, fold it, tag it down, fold it, tag it down. You're going to make a pleat all the way around the dress. If you do it this slow, you can make beautiful pleats. Now there's one other option you can do, is you can do a running stitch all down the side and gather it that way, but it will be a little bulky. I have found that if you just take the time of folding and gluing the pleat down flat, your waist of your dress won't look so bulky. It's going to look bulky anyway because this is a thicker bush, more full dress, and so you want to kind of eliminate any other fullness around the waist so that you don't distort the shape of it. I'm just about finished up here with that. I'm just going back around, and here I am getting ready to close the back seam. I'm making another seam here so that it'll lay beautifully and close the seam. Take your time with this process because you want your seam even with the crease in the back of your bodice. You'll want to work that area and just keep working it and, you know, finessing it. It will take a little time. Again, if you just don't rush through it and just do a little bit at a time, it'll really turn out beautiful. Again, I'm just revamping the shape, and now here I'm ready to put on some trims. This is a piece of Bodice lace, and then this is a piece of ribbon. The ribbon is a Christmas ribbon that had gold, some kind of gold design on it, and the dress form, the fabric I used has gold in it, so it really looked beautiful together. And I'm just going around the waist with it, and I'm making sure that the back is even, and because I do not intend to put a bow in the back, so I want to make sure that that area is even and nicely glued down. Now next you're going to see I'm going to take a piece of Bodice lace, and this lace is a trim dangle lace, and I'm going to go right over the top of that white ribbon that I just put on there, because I wanted the little pieces of Bodice to hang down. And it turned out very pretty. It just cascaded all the way around the dress. These dresses are fun to use up your scraps of laces and pearls and all those little strings pieces that you have left over. That's why they call these art dresses, because basically you're taking pieces of this and that and you're making them into what it is that you want to do. I'm taking another piece of lace and I'm going around the bodice area so that it will it'll be an overlay, but you will still see the gold bodice underneath. Again, you need to pay attention to the back of the dress. When you do finish up wrapping this around, you'll want to cut it as perfect as you can so that it wraps beautifully and you are left with just a clean back. So you want the front just as beautiful as the back, vice versa. Here I'm just tacking down the lace to make sure that it stays tacked down. Now here in a few moments I'm going to pull out some pearls, and I'm going to start decorating the bodice with the pearls. As you see, that's a beautiful bodice there. Turned out really pretty. And alright, so well, okay, there I go. I'm sorry. Now I'm digging for pearls. These pearls are teardrop pearls. They're flat back teardrop pearls. They can be purchased through Miriam at Miriam's Craft Supplies. I'll put the link of that down below in the description box. I'm just gluing them onto the bodice. I'm using my fabulous tweezer scissors from Lindy Stamp Gang. They are awesome for these types of applications. They have a real good grip on them, and they're great tool for these small dresses and different things like that. Now I also went on and decided to put a pearl on each end of the Bodice dangle. That just brought the pearl down further into the dress so that it would be pleasing to the eye. Whenever you don't want your top so busy that the bottom looks plain, so you want to kind of be uniformed with it. So I used a few pearls at the top of the bodice, and now I am using them in the dangle trim, as you see there. Okay, so the next step is I'm taking my Bling Trim, which can be purchased at my store at Facebook. This is a rhinestone and pearl trim. I'm just going around the waist just to add a touch of bling to the bodice area. Again, you want to be aware of making sure that when you glue it in the back that it's all even. And that's about it, ladies. Turned out beautiful. Okay, ladies, this is the finished dress. I just simply added a bow on the front here, and with this, a little bit of string pearl, and then a piece of my bling, which is right there. So I'm going to go over what we done in the video. As you saw, that I glued tulle all around the base of the body, the dress form, is to make this dress poofy. It's more like you're making a can out of tulle. Okay, and then you saw me double layer the bodice, which is what I did. And if you notice, I was pointing at the seam of the tablecloth. And if you're going to use a tablecloth like I did, you'll want to try to use that already stitched seam, and it makes for a beautiful clean edging on your dress, as well as on the bodice part. Okay, I double that, and then how I done the skirt is like I showed you. I would fold glue, fold glue, fold glue, fold glue. You know, that's how I would do it. And then I put on a Venice dangle trim, and I put pearls at the end of each dangle. I put the same type of pearls with a piece of lace on the bodice area. I wrapped around the bodice area this beautiful Christmas gold ribbon that matched this very beautifully. And then again, I just made a bow, and then I put the pearls and a piece of bling, and I put some of my bling trim along the waist area. And there you have it. It's a beautiful dress. It's definitely an art dress. I really, really love it. Love, love, love it. And I stuffed my dress form with some material to give it that fullness that it needs. As you see, you can do that. And I'm going to sign the inside, and that is a beautiful, another beautiful art dress. I hope the tutorial is a little bit clearer to you this go around, because I want to zoom in on showing you how to do this, but sometimes I lose the you know, making sure that sometimes it's a little off camera and everything. But I do hope this is a better tutorial. I will definitely be making more of these. They're absolutely fun to make. It's kind of like I don't know, making your wardrobe of what you would wear or something, or what you would want your Barbie to wear. I just love them. They're absolutely stunning. So if you have any questions, let me know in the message box. Otherwise, please subscribe to my channel, and share the channel with Crafty Peeps. I would love, love, love for everybody to subscribe. And if you, again, contact me on Facebook if you have any questions, or here on YouTube. YouTube has changed their messaging, so I don't know if I'm catching all of them or if I'm missing all of them, or a little bit of both. But just don't give up on me. Contact me on Facebook. All my links are in the description box down below. So, stay for pictures. Lots of detailed pictures show you the details of this dress. Again, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you on next tutorial. Bye-bye.